It is almost impossible for the Bitcoin price to go below $60,000, guys. And I'm going to show you a chart here, guys, as to why that is the case. Okay. It has to do with the Bitcoin price and the cost of producing a Bitcoin. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys here this chart. Okay. From Capriel Investments. Okay, and it's going to give you some insights as to like why Bitcoin can't go below $60,000. Okay. All right. So here we are. This is from Capriel Investments. I hope I'm saying that right. And the Bitcoin production cost chart here. Okay. This chart, okay, shows us the price of Bitcoin, and then it shows us the cost, the electrical cost of Bitcoin, how much it costs to actually produce a Bitcoin uh, with all the electrical energy that's needed to produce one Bitcoin. And then it gives us a production cost, which is like, the cost of electricity plus the cost of investing and buying the machines to help come up with the computer processing power to actually mine a Bitcoin, and then a miner price as like what price the Bitcoin miners are currently trying to sell their Bitcoin at. Okay, and right now the miner price, the miners, they need the Bitcoin to be about $68,560. If you can see down the right side of your screen there, guys, that number 68,560 is what the miners need the price of Bitcoin to be at. Okay. Um, some of these miners, their production costs is actually up to about $85,000 on an average basis. Some miners are not doing so well out there. They actually need the price of Bitcoin to be higher than what it is right now, or else it doesn't make sense for them to sell their Bitcoin. And if it doesn't make sense for them to sell their Bitcoin, they're not going to sell their Bitcoin on the exchanges, or whoever needs to buy Bitcoin is not going to be able to buy Bitcoin from them because they can't produce Bitcoin unless the price is at $85,000. Okay. But the electrical costs, okay, we'll just focus on the electrical costs, okay, because some miners out there have upgraded their machines and they are using the latest and greatest computing processing power out there to produce the amount of computing processing power that they need for Bitcoin. But just electrical costs alone, how much electricity do you need to actually use, okay, to produce a Bitcoin, is now coming at, if you look at this number in the red here, and let me just check, make sure you guys are actually able to see that. Yep, that number in the red right there is $60,533. Okay, $60,533 to produce one Bitcoin just using electricity alone. Never mind buying a machine. Never mind buying a computer to actually produce a Bitcoin. It costs $60,000. Okay, roughly in electrical costs all throughout the world. Okay, to actually produce one Bitcoin. Okay, so with that cost in mind, there, guys, that's why the price of Bitcoin lately has been struggling to go below $60,000. I think in the last couple of weeks here, we're now here in May. Today is May 17th, 2024. We've seen Bitcoin go below $60,000 to like $56,000, but very temporarily. It was only there for like a day or two, not even 1 week. Okay, and the price of Bitcoin was able to recover and get above $60,000, because $60,000 is basically how much it costs just to come up with electricity to produce Bitcoin. And if these miners are mining Bitcoin and they need the price of Bitcoin to be $60,000, and it's not $60,000, they're not going to sell their Bitcoin. They're going to stop selling their Bitcoin. They're going to wait until the price goes higher, and then they'll sell their Bitcoin at a profit, not at a loss. Okay. Because they're in the business of making money. They're not going to mine Bitcoin unless they can actually get their money back. Okay. And in order for them to get their money back, the price of Bitcoin has to be $60,533, according to this chart. And this is from Capriel Investments. Okay. But let's just look at a little bit of history as to, like, I mean, just to give you guys some context as to, like, how useful this chart is, and give you ideas, like, some insights as to, like, how the cost of electrical to the electricity cost to mine Bitcoin, how that affects uh, the price over time. Okay, and we can see that, yeah, just looking at the electrical costs here, back in April of 2024, which was like what, a month ago, the electrical cost to mine Bitcoin was only $33,000. It was only $33,569. It wasn't until after the halving that that price spiked up. You can see that little red, that red spike. Okay, the price spiked up to 60,000. Right now, May 14th, $61,447. Okay, so we had that huge spike after the halving, and now the Bitcoin miners, they cannot mine Bitcoin unless you know Bitcoin prices above $60,000. They can still mine it, but they're just going to lose their money. They're not going to do it unless the price makes sense. Okay, so in order for the price to make sense, it has to be above $60,000, guys. Okay, that's why it's almost impossible for the Bitcoin price to go below $60,000 because the miners just won't sell their Bitcoin if it goes below that. Okay, and then that's when, if they stop selling their Bitcoin, then that's going to cause the price of Bitcoin to go up. But yeah, just earlier in 2024, like the price of the electrical cost of Bitcoin was like $25,000. Yeah, I'm sorry, in January 13th, which is when the ETFs came out in America for the spot Bitcoin ETF price, it was like $29,000 to mine a Bitcoin. Okay. And then, in November and October, like October of 2023, it only costs like $19,000, $19,847 to mine a Bitcoin. The amount of electricity that you need to mine a Bitcoin. Okay, and then, just prior to that, in the bottom, during the lows of 2022, after the FTX crash in like November. We have like the price of mining Bitcoin was like $14,000 for electrical costs. Okay, but then let's just, for further insight and context, like the price was lower during the last halving, that we had. We saw the electrical costs of Bitcoin costing only $4,000 to mine a Bitcoin in April 10th of 2020. Okay, I believe you guys can check my work here. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I believe like the price of Bitcoin was like the halving in 2020 was around like May of 2020. Okay, and then you can see like we spiked up, like we went from like $4,000 to mine a Bitcoin. Okay, up to $7,000. Okay, $7,000 in June of 2020 to just electrical costs. Never mind the actual cost of buying computers and hardware and ant ant miners and whatever kind of miners equipments, latest and greatest that they had at the time. That's just the electrical costs. Never mind buying the computers and and having to run the machines. Okay, just the electrical costs alone was like $7,000 per Bitcoin. Okay. And then it climbed up into like 2021. It got up to like $13,000 to mine the electrical costs to mine a Bitcoin. So this is a pretty useful chart here, guys. And you can get this off of Capital.com/charts. Is a very useful chart to use to understand, how low could the price of Bitcoin actually go. And just looking at this, guys, I mean, $60,000, that red number, $60,500. Most all the miners, they need like the price of Bitcoin to be about like they need the price to be about like $65,000, a little bit above that, because of the cost of computers and everything, as well as electricity. But a lot of miners, their average cost is now coming at like $85,000 all throughout the world. Okay, so we really need the price of Bitcoin to be about $85,000 for most of these Bitcoin miners to actually mine Bitcoin and be profitable. because some of them are using older machines. That's the reason why they need a higher price. Their older machines are not as efficient at mining Bitcoin, so therefore their price of Bitcoin needs to be higher for them to actually be profitable. But most of the top tier miners out there, they need the price of Bitcoin to be basically where it's at right now, like $67,000, just to mine a Bitcoin and mine it and break even. Not even like make money. They need to, in order for them to break even, they need the price of Bitcoin to be basically where it's at right now. So we're at break even price. So some of these miners, some of these Bitcoin miners are very creative in their financing, and they actually don't need to sell their Bitcoin right now. They can take out debt. They can find other ways to come up with cash in order for them to just stay in the game, pretty much. They can sell shares of their some of these like publicly traded miners can sell like shares of their company and get equity to help keep the lights on and keep running their machines. So they don't have to sell their Bitcoin if they don't feel like the price is good. So with that being said, they could basically not sell their Bitcoin, and then everybody that's trying to buy a Bitcoin on like Coinbase or Binance or Kraken or whatever cryptocurrency exchange, there's not going to be any Bitcoin to buy because the Bitcoin miners are just breaking even or not even selling their Bitcoin. Okay, so there needs to be higher prices in order to incentivize them to actually sell their Bitcoin. And I just showed right here on this chart, they need that price to be at least $60,000 for them to break even on just electrical costs alone. Never mind actually having an actual Bitcoin miner machine and buying that, and also buying the having a place to actually store the computers. Some of them are leasing buildings, hard warehouses where they can keep their computers and mine their Bitcoin. So this is all important stuff here, guys. And like I said, this is coming off of Capital Investments. They also have some other charts here that kind of like show you why Bitcoin might be on an uptrend here. But I mean, just look over time, guys. Just looking like the time since 2015. The cost of mining a Bitcoin has gone up. The cost of electrical costs for mining a Bitcoin, the difficulty is getting harder. Going all the way up into like 2019, 2020, it's just an uptrend. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it does go down. We have had like the crashes, like the crash in like end of 2021 going into 2022. Okay, and that's just the reason why the costs of mining a Bitcoin goes down is because there's less people using Bitcoin, and then the difficulty goes down, and then the miners are able to mine Bitcoin at a lower price because the difficulty goes down, basically because no one's not no one, but less people are using the network. So with less people using the network, they understand that miners might have trouble mining Bitcoin, so they lower the difficulty so that way miners can still be profitable. Okay, but now the prices of mining a Bitcoin is going up, so these miners, they need more money for the amount of Bitcoin that they're able to produce because of the electrical costs and the cost of mining Bitcoin, and also the difficulty of mining a Bitcoin has gone up, and they're getting less rewards for it. With the halving, they lost half of the Bitcoin that they normally would have got about 2 months ago. Okay, so let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart here, guys, to see like what exactly that is doing to the price, and you just get another ideas like why Bitcoin. I said in the title of this video, it's almost impossible for Bitcoin to go $60,000. And let's see if the technical analysis on the charts kind of backs that up here. Okay, so with all that being said, yeah, here's what we have. We have Bitcoin. This is coming off of the data from Coinbase. This is the Bitcoin to US dollar chart on the daily chart here. These are all daily candles here. And we currently see Bitcoin is trading at $67,159. And we see that Bitcoin has recently got above the green moving average, which is the 50-day moving average at $65,000. Okay. And Bitcoin was finding support here on the 100-day moving average, which is this yellow line. Okay, and that currently is trading at $62,840. Okay. So just looking at this chart here, guys, we can see that you know, if Bitcoin was to go back down again, okay, currently right now is trading at $67,180. We have a lot of sideways trading action here near like the $61,700 level. Okay, that's a very important support here. That's why when we got above $61,700 on Wednesday, May 15th, we got a big giant green candle, up 7% in one day, according to this candle. And we shot up to like prices of like $66,000. Okay, which helped get us above the green moving day average, the 50-day moving average, which is currently trading at $65,000. Excuse me, guys. For Bitcoin, to go back down below $60,000, it has to violate the 50-day moving average, which it could do it. It could possibly go below the 50-day moving average, but then it has to violate the 100-day moving average, which is also showing us support. And the 100-day moving average is currently trading at that yellow number there, $62,840. So we have some support there at $62,000 from the 100-day moving average, and then we also have just the sideways trading action at $61,700. Okay. We also have some other candles here at $60,000. It's just a psychological number. $60,000 is just a psychological number that traders are looking at, and they're saying, hey, I want to be in Bitcoin if it's above $60,000. And if it's below $60,000, I don't want anything to do with it. So psychologically, $60,000 is also a very important number in most people's heads as to whether they want to be in or out of Bitcoin. Okay. And we temporarily, like I said, got below $60,000. Okay, guys. We have like these candle wicks here. These candle wicks, on April 17th, we got down to like $59,600, but we didn't close there. We went back up to $61,000. And then also here on April 19th, we got as low as $59,573. We didn't close there. We got right back up to like $63,000. Okay. Excuse me, guys. I've been sick this week. So that's why I might sound a little bit different, and I've been coughing. I'm trying my best here, guys. But yeah. So with the Bitcoin price, it never closed at $60,000 until like we got down to on May 1st of 2024. We did get as low as $56,000, $56,500 to be exact. And we closed at $58,265. So we had one day where Bitcoin was below $60,000 recently. But then the next day, once again, we stayed there for roughly about 2 days, guys. We'll just say we stayed there for about 2 days because we opened at 58,000. We got as low as 56,900 on Thursday, May 2nd. Then we try to get back up to like $59,000. As you can see right here. And then the next day, we just shot right back up on May 3rd, Friday, May 3rd. We went right above. We opened at like $59,000, and then we closed at $62,000 here. Okay. So Bitcoin does not want to be below $60,000. And I gave you the reason early in the video. It's because the cost of mining a Bitcoin is now $60,000. Okay. So, the miners are not going to sell their Bitcoin if it goes below $60,000. That's going to create less selling pressure. That's bad news for the short sellers out there. We might never see $60,000 Bitcoin ever again, guys, or below $60,000 ever again, because we're just now getting the halving going here. Some miners are shutting down. People are getting excited about Bitcoin, especially now that they can get it at like $60,000. And some people are anticipating Bitcoin to go to like double the price to like $120,000. So like this might be the launch point for us to go to higher prices here, guys, for the Bitcoin price. Okay. So yeah. So we have the 100-day is trending up, and the 50-day was starting to trend down, but now we're using it as support here on the daily chart here. And I anticipate that we'll start to make a run back up to $70,000 for Bitcoin here, guys, in the next week. Okay, I can see that happening. We've already shot across the creek here, across this channel that Bitcoin was making, and I don't see us going to lower prices here, guys. I don't see us going to lower price. I think the lows were made. Okay, God forbid I'm wrong. Okay, for those who might think I'm wrong. If we did go below $60,000, we do have support here, okay, at the sideways trading action right here at $52,000, $51,000, okay, and then we also have the 200-day moving average here at $51,840, and that thing is also creeping up. So, as the days and weeks go by, the 200-day moving average is just going to go higher up to maybe the mid 50s. Or even lower 60s, and if Bitcoin decides to let me just draw this out here, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, if Bitcoin's does go up, right, to like $70,000-$80,000 and then comes back down again, okay, and then makes another higher low before it starts going back up again, like that, okay. We could never see $60,000 $60,000 Bitcoin again, because in the meantime, this red line right here is probably going to trend up as well as it has been doing, and along with the other moving averages here, the 150-day moving average, and if God forbid, Bitcoin decides to go back down again after it goes up, okay, it might only come back down to like $65,000 before it gets supported by the red 200-day moving average here. Okay, if that gives you guys an idea as to what the future might be for Bitcoin going into the summer of 2024. So yeah, the bullish case is looking like we'll never see Bitcoin go below $60,000, and that's basically what I wanted to summarize here in this video. I'm sticking to the price of Bitcoin. I know Solana has been doing well, guys. Okay, we'll take a look at Solana real quick before I end this video, because Solana has been doing some amazing things here. Even against the price of Bitcoin, it's been doing better than Bitcoin. So we'll take a look at that real quick, and then we'll call it a video here. Okay. But yeah, let's look at Solana now here, guys. What has Solana been doing? Solana has gone down in price since the highs that it made back in middle March, and also another slightly lower high here at the beginning of April, when it was trading at about $200. Solana was getting support here, as you can see from this candlewick top in December 25th, where it got as high as about $125. Okay, and then another $124, $118 area. So we did have Solana try to defend those areas. On April 13th, it got as low as $121. And then it got a little bit lower than that on Wednesday, May 1st. It got down to $118, which is once again that candlewick top. Okay, on December 25th, where we got as high as around $125. So yeah, Solana bulls defended those areas quite well. Okay, and we can now consider this just a higher low. Okay, compared to where Solana was back in January and in December. Okay, and it almost looks like, to me, just visual chart pattern here wise, that Solana was creating a head and shoulders. Okay, an inverse head and shoulders. Okay, so we got the shoulder here back in April, and then we got the head here on May 1st, and then we kind of got slightly higher shoulder, which is quite bullish here in like May 13th and May 10th. Okay, so inverse head and shoulder patterns are considered bullish patterns, bullish reversal patterns. So whatever Solana was doing before that, which was going down, is getting reversed now, and now we look like we want to go to higher prices here on Solana. And if I was to do the measure move here, guys, to see like how high Solana could possibly go after it broke out of that little head and shoulder that it made. Okay, we take the measurement from the baseline to the head, the bottom of the head, and then we put that right where we're starting to break out at the baseline, and we could possibly see Solana get up to about $184 right now. Solana is currently trading at $170. So what is that? Roughly 10% move up from where it is right now. Yeah, Solana could go up another 10% in the next few days, possibly the next couple of weeks here, guys. Okay, compared to where it's at right now. So Solana does have some bullish action going for it, which is pretty cool. Okay, Solana has been using the yellow line here, the 100-day moving average, as support. And that yellow line is now currently trading at $148. So if Solana does come back down again, that could be a good area for you guys to start putting in your bets and your buys to buy some more Solana at $148. And it's also very convincing to the rest of the bulls here that Solana has got above the 50-day moving average, which is currently at $156. So if Solana does come back down again, that could be another area of support, another area to buy Solana at. If you guys are looking to get into Solana and look at selling at higher prices, Solana, if it does go down to like $156, that could be a good buy area. And then also near $148 is also a good buy area for Solana. Okay. And then of course Solana needs to work at, breaking past the $200 area, which is the local highs that it made back in like March and April of 2024. But let's take a look at what Solana has done against the price of Bitcoin, and then we'll also look at what is done against the price of Ethereum. So if I do Solana BTC, okay, what is that looking like? Okay, Solana, it just over history, over time, ever since like October and September of 2023, Solana has been appreciating in price against Bitcoin. Okay, it's been appreciating in value compared to Bitcoin, which Bitcoin is like the hardest money out there, and Solana is doing better than Bitcoin according to this chart. Okay, and just looking at this, like the 200-day and the 100-day and the 50-day moving average, they're all trending upward. The 50-day looks like it has come back down on the Solana, the BTC chart. But that could change if we start getting more higher price action for Solana. We might see this start to go back up again. And of course, the 200-day is steadily climbing. The red line here, okay, is steadily climbing, and the 100-day looked like it was taking a little bit of breather, going sideways, but that could start going back up again if we start seeing higher prices for Solana, guys. Okay, so yeah, just looking at this chart, it looks like the levels that the bulls were defending on the Solana BTC chart was like around 23.0023316 level. Okay. And now we're currently trading at the 0.0025374 level. Okay. We might see some resistance at like the 0.0027942 level. Okay. Right over here, guys. But yeah, once we get past that, the Solana bulls look like they want to push Solana up to like 0.0035. Okay. Yeah. And I don't think we've been as high as like 0.0035 or even higher than that since like the bull market of November and October of like 2021, when Solana was like trading at like 0.00404 Solana the Bitcoin price. Okay. So yeah. Solana is still has some more work to do, but has done a lot of great work over the last year or two here, guys. So that's good for Solana investors, and it looks like it's going to continue being good for Solana investors. Let's just look at Solana ETH. Okay, those two are like competing smart contract platforms, and let's see what Solana is doing compared to Ethereum. So right now on the Solana ETH chart, Solana is trading at like 0.0548 Solanas to Ethereum. Okay. Solana I think is like what, $160, and Ethereum is like $3,000. So that's how you get this 0.0548 number here. And wow, like just like Solana was kicking butt and beating Bitcoin over the past year or two, Solana has been also beating up and kicking butt compared to Ethereum. All right. And this is now looking like it is going to get past its all-time highs here back in like November of 2021, where Solana to ETH was like as high as 0.058 is what I'm looking at here. So like we're really close to seeing the price of Solana compared to ETH be higher than it ever was in its history ever since Solana was created. Okay. So that is good. And once we see that, then we'll know for sure that Solana is like the better cryptocurrency out there. That it wants to at least make a lot of money for Solana investors, I'll tell you that. But yeah, Solana getting past that 0.058 level, and it's not that far away from doing that. That would signify to the Solana investors that they have a good investment and that this is going to continue going to higher prices here, guys. So, congratulations to the Solana investors. And you know what? There might actually be some more celebration later on this year. Just the way this chart is trending upwards and onwards, we could see Solana reward a lot of Solana investors for being invested in Solana. It's a big, looks almost like it's going to be like it's going to be like a cup and handle pattern here. But yeah, this is like big, like a Nike swoosh pattern, like the Nike symbol. So yeah, we might get resistance at 0.058, might come back down again to like maybe like if Ethereum starts climbing up for some reason, if we get the Ethereum ETF, that might cause the price of Solana to Ethereum to start going down again. But then we might see Solana like get some bullish action and go up to higher prices compared to Ethereum. Okay. So that's pretty interesting insights there, guys. I wanted to share with you guys here about Bitcoin and Solana. And I think that's going to be the end of this video here, guys. I appreciate you guys looking at this video here. And if you could go ahead and click that like button so other people can see the good work that I'm doing here and get more eyeballs and more people to notice my channel. I appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And yeah, I will be doing more videos like this. Check out some of my short videos on my channel. If you don't have as much time to be looking at these long videos that I do here, I try to keep it short and sweet on the YouTube shorts. So check those out. And yeah, also go ahead and follow me on the Meet Damien Twitter. You can check me out on Twitter, and you could also stay up to date also on TikTok. I do a Meet Damien TikTok videos, which is mainly just short video content. But yeah, go ahead and check me out there too, guys. I appreciate you guys listening to my content, and I look forward to doing some more videos like this on the Meet Damien channel. And I am Damien, and I appreciate you guys coming here. Okay. All right, guys, that's the end of this video. Good luck out there trading, guys. I think we got some more good news and celebrations coming for the cryptocurrency investors out there. So sit tight and enjoy the ride, guys, and stay safe and don't do anything too crazy out there. Okay, with your money. Okay, guys. All right, take care. Bye.